So I'm here in the Ballysaggart GAA club grounds on a beautiful Tuesday evening ahead of Ballysaggart's first ever senior hurling championship match. They were founded way back in 1885, and I'm joined by senior manager Adrian Meagher. Adrian, is everyone excited in the club about lining out in senior hurling for the first time on Saturday night?
Yeah, they are. We're looking forward to it, yeah. Hopefully things will go right for us on the day. I suppose it's a big ask, but look, we've nothing to lose and we're going to have a right cut off us, lads on good old form, so hopefully they'll turn up and put in a big performance. That's all we're asking.
Could you ever imagine that Ballysaggart would be playing in the senior hurling championship, Adrian, when you started off playing?
No, it was not when I started, no, but I suppose since the junior to that time in 13, I suppose we knew we had good young fellas coming, and we were hoping, if we could win the junior and go on and have a cut off the intermediate. Maybe someday we might get there, but it took 6 years. But look, we got there now, and that's the main thing. That was our aim then, and we're there now. And look, I suppose there's no pressure on with the relegation gone. So look, we're hoping that the boys will turn up and give it their all on the night, and that's all we can ask for.
I suppose not only is Ballysaggart one of the oldest clubs in Waterford, Adrian, it's also one of the smallest. Can you give us a sense of kind of the numbers you're working off here?
Sure, we're always saying it's small, but very spirited. Look, in fairness, we have a second team. We played the junior championship the other night now. We beat Shamrock Sandy. So we have a nice panel player. We 20 lads tagged out for that as well. So, there's probably 5 or 6 of them wouldn't be far away from the senior. They'll maybe another year, they're young, but a year or two, hopefully, they'll be good enough for it,
And some of the old timers played a part in your run to the Munster Intermediate final last year, Adrian. Like Eugene O'Brien at 43, I think your own brother Matty at 46 as well. Are they sticking around for this first senior campaign?
Actually, yeah. Jenny's still there. Jenny's training hard. Yeah, he's a magnificent player and man. To be honest, he's any young fella should look at him and see the way he looks after himself, and he's great for the younger lads in the team. He'll always talk to them and keep them going. So great man. I'm delighted for him. He was kind of an unsung hero for us. He was always there with us. He kept the thing going for us, and you can see him now at 43. More than likely will line out for us next Saturday evening against Salle.
Yeah, he must be happy that he's, after sticking around for the last couple of years, able to see senior hurling, Adrian.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. But he could see, he see it himself. He knew that the potential was there. If we could get over the line, the intermediate, which is a very hard championship to win. But look, we got over the line, and he stuck with it, and fair play to him. And I suppose this is his just reward now next Saturday evening, lining out and senior hurling for the first time. It's great for him.
And I suppose at the other end of the spectrum, we have a couple of young players coming through as well. Who have you added from last year's panel?
We have 2 lads, I suppose, that are 2, maybe 3. There's John Roach and Ryan Bennett, and there's Tiernan Lane. There's 3 of them wouldn't have been there last year, but they're available this year now. So they're not bad now. It might take another year, but they're coming nicely. Yeah, they'll be a big addition to us down the road. Yeah.
Would you be disappointed that only 45 of your club members will be able to see your first senior championship match, Adrian? The capacity has been reduced to only 200 people, including players and mentors now for the weekend.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. Yeah, so yeah, it is. Look, it's very disappointing, and it's a bit, I don't know, sure, the size of the area that we're going into, you'd think that there was no problem putting a lot more in there. I'd be hoping. Look, there's say that the team who won the old 72 county final, there's a handful of them guys are still involved in the club. They were officers and they were on the management team over the years, and it'll be special for them now. And I only hope the likes of them will be able to see the match, because they've kind of, we were talking about the field, the likes of them brought it from mountain to this for the lads today. So I'll be hoping they'll be able to see it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, because it meant a lot to a lot of the older people in Ballysaggart to see you win that intermediate title last year, Adrian.
Oh, unbelievable, yeah. So, like I said, there were tough times there over the years. We won, 72 was our first one, and we won one in 92. And in 88 we were beaten in the final, county final. So we hadn't, there was barren years there, and the boys kept it going for us. But look, it was all turned in to try and keep it going. I was lucky I fell in 2012, and I'm there since, I suppose. But look, there was a good group of lads there, and they were honest, and they'd put down their head and they train hard, and that's all we look for, to be honest, out in the field, and be honest with each other and put on the jersey and give it everything. That's all you want.
Can you talk about the transformation of the club behind the scenes, Adrian, especially with the club field here that was opened in 2017 by the former GA president Egon O'Farrell?
Yeah, so it was a massive day for the club again. In fairness, the chairman, Seamus and Billy Devine and their committee were unbelievable. They were the driving force behind it. They put a lot of work, a lot of time into it. As you can see, the field is top class field now, and look, and the shed is below. It's getting ready to go again. So hopefully, maybe this time next year, that there'll be a lot of work done to that. So it's a club that's going well and going forward, and hopefully we can progress maybe and do well in the senior. 2 games, we've 2 hard games to play in the senior. We're under no illusion what we're up against. Look, we're probably the 12th team in Waterford, and we're playing the second best ever in the final last year. So beside the week after, are going to be 2 massive games. But like I said, look, I suppose the relegation thing was probably a big thing. There's no relegation, so there's no fear. There's no pressure. We hope the lads will go out and enjoy it and get a bit of experience, and they know they'll be playing senior hurling again next year, so that'll probably help stand to them too. No pressure.
Yeah, and just finally, Adrian, it's going to be a tough ask, as you say, going in against De La Salle, runners up last year, to Ballygunner. What will you be saying to the lads before you take the field on Saturday?
Yeah, so look, we know what we're going to be playing. It's going to be a big ask, but look, all we'll be asking is, look, to give it absolutely everything, leave everything out in the field, and the work rate has to be top class. Play as a team, do what they normally. They're very honest out in the field, in fairness to them, and that's all you can ask for. And whatever happens on the night, we're hoping we can give them enough for this. That's what we're hoping. If we can, if we play to our ability, put in a big shift, and we'll be happy enough with that.
We love Waterford. We are WLR.
So I'm here at the Ballysaggart GA club grounds with Ballysaggart and Waterford hurler Kieran Bennett. Kieran, how much is everyone in the club looking forward to the first senior championship match on Saturday against De La Salle?
Everyone around seems very excited. I know it's strange times, but still it's nice to get back into some bit of normality, and I suppose this is totally new for us to be up at this grade, but it's great excitement around, and I suppose it gives people around something to look forward to, hopefully get to see.
Well, you've been back in training the last 4 weeks since the club gates have reopened after the COVID-19 lockdown. What's been the strangest part of it all for yourself, Kieran?
Well, I don't know, I think it's probably the whole just walking in togged and going and leaving then straight away afterwards. I suppose we haven't really done that since we were kids, but I suppose it's nice to get back and seeing everyone. I suppose, as again, every precaution has to be taken, but it's nice to get back and doing a bit.
Yeah, was everyone comfortable coming back in training, Kieran? Did anyone have any reservations about getting back together as a group?
Not really for ourselves, I think more so just elderly family members and things like that, so you're kind of trying to take the more precautions on their behalf than what you are yourself. But I suppose there's not much you can do when you're tackling of it in a match, but other than that you're just trying to do as best you can, I suppose, and follow the guidelines. And
you have another Bennett brother coming on board this year in Ryan. How has he settled into the senior setup so far?
Here, I suppose it's a different grade to be coming into than we all came into. We started back, we were junior, and it's a big jump for the likes of teams you'll be playing. But no, he's really enjoying himself, and to be honest, he's stepping up to the mark as of now anyway. And if gets a little nervous at times, which is fair enough, for the age, all of them do. But hopefully he can get stuck in and drive on.
I suppose it's a big task now Saturday night coming up against De La Salle, runners up to Ballygunner last year. Would you be confident that you'll be able to compete at senior level this year, Kieran?
It's total uncharted territory for us, really. As you said there, De La Salle are probably the closest team to Ballygunner at the moment in the county, and from all reports they're going very well. Sure, we know a lot of the boys that it's going to be a phenomenal test, to be honest, to be playing them. But hopefully we can put in a good performance and give them a game. We know that they're that level above most teams, but sure, all we can do is give it a best shot and have a rattle off them, see what happens.
I suppose there's no relegation this year. I suppose for any team coming up from intermediate, the first goal is out to stay up in senior. What kind of aims do you have in mind for 2020, Kieran?
We're kind of just hoping that we can be competitive, to be honest. Beside are definitely up there, top 4 teams in whatever at the moment, we feel anyway. So it's good, to be honest. We're one of the teams that are probably benefiting from this no relegation, but it'll be nice to get some experience and see if we can compete at this level, and hopefully we can, as I said, compete and give it a rattle.
How did you find COVID-19 lockdown yourself? I suppose Waterford were playing Limerick back in March the 7th. It seems like a couple of years ago at this stage. How did you manage to keep yourself ticking over during that time?
Oh, sure, it's totally awkward. I don't know, there was a couple of us, once strictness were eased any bit, we kind of half got back up doing small bits, in groups of 4 and things, but it's nothing compared to the first tackle you made. I haven't played a competitive match since the Cork league game back in February, I'd say. And coming back, we played one challenge game last week against Bright Rovers in Cork, and the first hit, it was like you were never after taking a tackle before in your life. You can do all the running you want, but it's things like that match based stuff that we missed during lockdown. But we got a couple of bits in training and things, the last couple of weeks, but hopefully that'll stand to us some bit.
And did you take up any hobbies during the lockdown to keep yourself going?
Would you believe, actually, me and the brothers, we took up golf. We used to play a lot of it when we were in school, but I'd say since TY is school we haven't really played, so we all joined back up Lismore Golf Club and had something to do anyway, keep you taking over. Yeah,
so there's a few additional members of Lismore Golf Club this year.
There is. I was down in Dungarvan talking to Graham Nail, owns the golf shop there, and he said the amount of GA players that are after taking up golf over this lockdown thing is something else. So that's great. It's nice to actually have something, that you can just relax and take your mind off things. I suppose
is the one sour note to the return to play, Kieran, the fact that there will be only 45 of your own club people in the stand now Saturday night to cheer you on.
Yeah, definitely it'll be awkward looking in far field when you see the capacity. You think there could be something done that you could social distance to a bigger number than that. I don't know, is it really fair on clubs to then pick only, as you said, 40 people or 45 people? It's hard to say who gets what, and I'm just happy that I don't have nothing to do with it. I wouldn't like to be in that position. But I suppose, as I said, it's the same for everyone. Till the Salle have a lot bigger population, they'll probably want to go to it than we would, and so they'll have bigger issue, I suppose.
Well, that's all for this edition of Lorna Páirce. Nigel Kelly will be back with our Saturday sports show On the Ball from 12, and I'll have updates throughout the weekend on air and online from the first round of the County Senior Hurling Championship. Thanks for tuning in. Slán go fóill.